Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another trade rumors video with the Minnesota Twins. Today we are going to be talking about two players, Marcus Stroman and Ken Giles. They're the trade with the Blue Jays that the Twins have kind of talked about. I think this is very unlikely, but we'll talk about that, of course, and everything. So let's compare Marcus Stroman to Madison Bumgarner. As I said yesterday, I really don't think Madison Bumgarner is the piece we need. I'm not a big fan of him. It sounds like a lot of you guys are or are not. It's very split. So I want to know what your opinion is, of course, on Marcus Stroman and Ken Giles. I know a couple of you guys mentioned it in the comments. So we'd love to know your opinion on them, as well as Marcus Stroman compared to Madison Bumgarner. I know these are two starting pitchers that, we've had our eyes on. So let's talk about it. First off, Marcus Stroman he's a starting pitcher, probably the best on the Blue Jays, has been for a while. Is he the same level of, quality starter that you're going to get from Madison Bumgarner? Obviously, Madison Bumgarner is a guy who has been in the World Series 3 times. He's been very good. He's played in about 150 more games than Marcus Stroman. But Marcus Stroman, again, has not been on a great team, and his record has suffered because of it. His ERA is not great. We'll talk about it, but also Ken Giles. He's a guy who's been on the move a little bit. He was in, Houston. He's come to the Blue Jays, and he is a guy that I think would help our bullpen. So, let's talk. We'll start with Marcus Stroman and his stats. Let's go with this season alone. He's got a 2.4 WAR. That's good. That's pretty good for this season. Not going to lie. That's, for the team he's pitching on, that is a very good stat. To compare him to, 2.4. That's not bad. He's got a 5-9 record. That's not great, with a 3.1 ERA. That's very respectable. 18 games started. He's pitched 104 innings, 81 strikeouts, a whip of 1.2. So not great. Not quite a Madison Bumgarner kind of player right there, Madison Bumgarner was striking out one guy per inning, but also giving up a hit or walk per inning. Marcus Stroman is a little bit worse, doesn't quite strike out a guy, as much as somebody like Bumgarner did. His whip is also a little higher. In his career, though, he's got a 12.8 WAR with a 46 and 43 record, a 3.8 ERA, so a little bit higher, but not bad again at all. 126 starts, 769 innings pitched, 617 strikeouts. That's a little bit better right there with a whip of 1.2 again. He's not a bad player. As I mentioned, he was an all-star this season, 2019, and he was in the Cy Young Award winner, Cy Young Award conversation. He finished 8th back in 2017. He also got a Gold Glove that year. So, looking at his stats, he has never really been great. In 2014, I think you could argue was his best season, maybe even 2017, but he was 11-6 record in 2014 with a 3.6 ERA. So, that's not great, but not bad. He was on a better team back then when they were, making playoff runs. 26 games, 20 were started, one complete game shutout, I should say. 130 innings pitched, 125 hits, 111 strikeouts to 28 walks. That's pretty good. But that's pretty much his best season. Again, you could argue 2017 maybe where he made 33 starts. He's only made above 30 starts twice. Now, granted, this is a guy. I'll talk about that in a second. But he's, 33 starts that season, 13-9 record, 3 ERA, his best ERA considering he's played, more games besides this 2015 season when he only played 4 games. But 200 innings pitched, 201 hits, 164 strikeouts, 62 walks. Again, not bad. So, that is Marcus Stroman. Let's talk about Ken Giles very quickly. I think this is a guy who we can add to the bullpen very easily. We might have to get rid of somebody like Zach Littell or Duffy or somebody like that. But if you look at his stats over his career, he's not the greatest. His ERA is fantastic, though, and that's what I think we'd get him for. He's a guy who's going to throw 1 inning, right? That's what I mean by he's not the greatest. He's not a guy we can extend. He is a guy who's going to throw 1 inning and shut the door, hopefully. 1.6 WAR, okay? Or this is this season, I guess. This is this season. So, yeah, this is a better season. His career is, again, not the greatest, but for this season, he's done well with a 1.6 WAR, 1.5 ERA, very good. 13 saves, 31 innings pitched, 53 strikeouts. Like I said, he's going to pitch 1 inning or so and slam the door. That's exactly what he's done. 31 games, 31 innings pitched, 53 strikeouts, a whip of 1. Very good. Over his career, though, he's struggled a little bit, right? He hasn't been the greatest reliever, but he is a guy, again, who's going to strike out a lot of guys and shut the door when he can. With a 7.1 WAR, a 2.68 ERA, 331 games. He's pitched 325 innings, 442 strikeouts, a whip of 1.1. Again, very, very good. Part of the Rookie of the Year conversation back in 2015, but he's been with a lot of teams, Philly, Houston, and Toronto. So, we've discussed their stats. Now let's compare them to where they would fit in the Twins conversation. I think this is a trade that we would have to make for both of these guys. I don't think we could just go out and pick up Ken Giles or Marcus Stroman, specifically because Marcus Stroman has already said that he has wanted to go pitch with the Yankees, so this is probably not even, in the conversation. I do think Stroman would be a better option than Bumgarner because I think we could get him under contract for a while. He's only 28. Bumgarner's 29. But, or that's Ken Giles. Marcus Stroman, I guess, is only 28 as well. But these guys are younger, right? And they are capable of going, 5 to 10 years. Bumgarner, he's had injuries. He's really suffered. I mean, Stroman hasn't been the, most healthy guy either. But these are guys who are very similar in that regard. But Bumgarner's a free agent, and he's looking to win a World Series. I think Stroman, after this, he is capable of being under contract. Same with Giles for maybe a couple of years. They are capable. I think they're both free agents, but maybe not. The point is, they are more capable of being long-term players, and we could really use a guy like Marcus Stroman once Gibson, Odorizzi, and Pineda are all free agents. I think we'll sign 2 of them back. I'm not sure which 2 yet. Probably Gibson and Odorizzi. I don't know about Pineda, but these are guys who could fill that rotation. They could fill that spot. And if we decide to get rid of a couple guys in the bullpen, Ken Giles could fit in there. So what would we have to trade for him? Again, I don't think that these guys are on the same level as Madison Bumgarner. The Blue Jays have a really good farm system already. Obviously, they want to make it better. But with the Twins and their farm system, I think that we would be able to move a couple more pieces like Nick Gordon. I'm not saying we would get rid of a Smeltzer or a Thorpe, but those are guys who the Blue Jays aren't necessarily going to need, and we can get rid of other guys, right, that can fill out their farm system. We can get guys who we can take long term. I think that would be something that we can consider. The final piece of this, though, is where are these guys going to fit in? I think Giles would fit in better than Stroman because I don't know if we just need a starter, right? Because our bullpen has been good. Our starting rotation has been good. But do they fit into the Minnesota Twins, right? Because this season is kind of booked, right? At least from the starting perspective with our 5 guys. But next year, we are kind of open to a lot of different things that could happen, right? So this is how I see this trade if it goes through. We get Stroman. We put Perez in the bullpen. I think this is a trade that we could really put Perez and Giles in the bullpen. Maybe get rid of Duffy. Maybe get rid of Littell or whoever else is there. But those are 2 guys we could definitely move to the bullpen. And I think Stroman is a guy who we could also move to the bullpen if need be, right? I don't know if Stroman would really even crack our top 3 for the playoffs if we go with Barrios, Odorizzi, and either, Gibson or Pineda. They've both been doing well. But I don't know if he would crack that top 3, and he might fit in the bullpen a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot more movable pieces with Stroman and Giles here. I think we would have to give up just a little bit more, but it wouldn't be our best players for somebody like Stroman and Giles versus Madison Bumgarner. And I think if we move those pieces around, it would open the door a lot for next season and to allow our younger guys to step up if, we need them to. So I think it's a better trade than Madison Bumgarner. Now, do I think it'll happen? Probably not. Again, Marcus Stroman has said he wants to pitch with the Yankees, and I don't know if that means we can just go pick up Giles. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I do think this is a much more likely scenario that we would pick up these guys, or at least one of them, rather than Madison Bumgarner. I think we'll have to see how it plays out, but it's very unlikely still that this happens. And again, let me know if you think that Marcus Stroman and Ken Giles are the pieces we need, or if there's somebody else. I'd love to hear your opinion on that. I got a couple more of these scheduled, but I'd love to know who you guys think we should go pick up and see, who we could use to progress in the playoffs. So one more time to recap. These guys are good, right? They're not quite the tier of Madison Bumgarner, but they're solid pieces that we could use. And I don't think we'd have to give up so much for him. Plus, we could use him longer term than Madison Bumgarner. We wouldn't have to sign him to a mega deal next year. So very much more of a possibility, but since Stroman said he wants to go to the Yankees because he's from New York, it's still probably unlikely. So that's all I got for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. If you like the Twins, like what I do here, of course, leave that subscribe button and talk in the comments. I love to hear your discussions and stuff. I'll reply to you and everything. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.